Before it starts, I want you to know that I don't own the story or Game of Thrones. If I did, maybe it would have ended with another king on the throne.
Born to be great. The Usurper's Knives and the Beggar King. 293a.c. Daenerys Targaryen. The life in exile wasn't the dream of any little girl from Westeros. The former royal family was struggling to survive in the free city of Bravos. Many times Dany accompanied her mother to the city docks. Sir Willem D'Ary talked to an old lady and convinced her to let Rhaella work with her in a small inn. Rhaella's job was cleaning and serving the tables. "You dishonor yourself, dear mother," she heard her brother say. Dany used to feel very comfortable with Viserys' presence. He was her brother after all. But as the years passed, Viserys changed, not in the good way. He started to call himself a dragon and started to threat her every time he was angry. "You don't want to wake the dragon, little whore," he told her once after she slapped him. They were playing, but she got bored and left him playing alone. Suddenly the kind face of her brother disappeared, replaced by a face full of anger. He slapped her in return, but Sir Willem stopped him before he could make more damage to her fragile body. "Mommy, this said that you were a queen many years ago, is that true?" Dany asked her mother. "Yes, my dear daughter. I used to be the queen of the 7 kingdoms, your late father was the king." Her mother answered. Her voice was full of melancholy, just as if she was remembering a nightmare. "But why are you working here now?" she asked with a touch of childish ingenuity. "Because the usurper forced us to leave Westeros if we wanted to stay alive. They killed your brother, Rhaegar, in the Battle of the Trident. Then your father was murdered by his own king's guard, your niece and nephew were killed by the mountain, and your other nephew just vanished in the air with the remnants of the king's guard. I wasn't able to protect them." A couple of tears started to run down Rhaella's cheeks. "But the day that you were born, I promised to myself that I would protect you and your brother, no matter what. Sir Willem helped us, and now we are here." Suddenly her mother's voice was filled with determination. "Your brother is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, and I'll make sure that he will sit on that throne in order to redeem our house. That's why I work every day, for you and your brother. We are dragons, Dany, and we don't answer neither the gods nor men." In that moment a fire started inside of Dany's chest, the same fire that burned inside her mother's chest. "We are blood of the dragon," she thought. That night she dreamed about dragons. She saw 3 dragons flying over a wall made of ice. Then she walked through a tunnel in the wall. She was able to see her own breath in the air. But something distracted her. The howl of wolf made her turn around, but there was no wolf. Instead of a wolf, a white dragon was standing in the tunnel's entrance. The dragon's eyes were looking through her towards the tunnel's exit. There she saw a wolf. A white wolf with the same crimson eyes that the white dragon had, and next to the wolf Dany saw the shape of boy, but she couldn't saw his face. The dream ended as sudden as it began when Dany's nose felt the smell of smoke. She got up and talked to her mother, as she heard the servants screaming downstairs. Sir Willem entered the room. He was bleeding. "My queen, we need to leave right now." As he said that, he locked the door. "Quickly! Get out through the window, don't leave us, Sir Willem, we need you," Dany said, crying because of the desperation that filled the room. Viserys was the first in going down. He climbed down through the branches of the lemon tree, then he helped her to reach the ground. Rhaella climbed down immediately after them, but Sir Willem didn't. Dany heard the clash of steel and screams of pain coming from the room. Her mother noticed the two and grabbed her and her brother by their hands. They ran away through the alleys when one of the assassins noticed them. "The whore is escaping," he said, and started a persecution through the city alleys. When they reached a dead end, Rhaella grabbed a little dagger that Sir Willem gave her. Dany saw 7 men approaching. 5 of them were using brown tunics. They looked like peasants, but their knives gave them away. "Come with us, you whore, or your little children will pay the consequences. I will make my men rape your little daughter, and your son will be my dog's food," the leader said as he walked towards them. Raella was ready to protect them with the small dagger when two swords were unsheathed by the two last men. They were wearing black hoods. Then the assassins turned to face them, but it was too late. The hooded men were faster than them. They cut through the assassins as if they were carving a cake. Danny saw the 5 assassins in the ground, their blood spilled in the floor, and the hooded men walking towards them. "Don't you dare to touch my children, you bloody bastards," Raella warned them, panic taking control over her. "We would never touch your children, my queen," a serene voice told her. Danny saw her mother drop the dagger and take her hands to her mouth as the men took their hoods off. "It can't be, you two are supposed to be dead." Her mother recognized them immediately. One man was older than the other. He had grey hair, brown eyes and rough features, but his warmth filled Danny with a sensation of relief. The other knight had a scar crossing his eye and his lip. His hair was black, and he had softer features than the first knight. "My king, my princess, I shall present us to you. I'm Sir Geralt Hightower, former Lord Commander of King Aerys King's Guard. My companion here is Sir Oswell Went. We're here to pledge our swords to you, my king." Both men kneeled in front of Viserys. They didn't seem happy with their new king, but Viserys was living his dream. "Were you with Sir Arthur Dayne?" Raella asked. "Where's my grandson?" "Your Grace, I ask for your forgiveness," Sir Geralt said. "Why do you ask for my forgiveness, Lord Commander?" Raella replied with a hostile tone. Dany saw her mother's eyes narrowed. "We travelled to Winterfell with the boy. He was growing up strong, but he got the pox, Your Grace." Sir Geralt's eyes were full of regret. "So, he's dead?" her mother asked. She saw how pain was consuming her mother. "The boy was burning in fever last time we saw him. The maester told us that he didn't had much time left. We left Sir Arthur to give him a proper burial. He loved that boy as much as his sister," the Lord Commander told her. "Then the bastard is dead," finally Viserys said. After finishing his sentence, her mother slapped him so hard that he fell to the ground. "How you dare to speak of your own blood in that way," Raella said. "That boy was the only thing left of Rhaegar in this shitty world. I must remind you, mother, that our late brother caused the ruin of our house the day he abducted that northern whore. Did you forget that?" Viserys spat those words like some vipers that Dany saw in the city market, spitting their venom. "Your father ruined our family. He burned so many people. You saw them. Corpse he left after him was another brick for the construction of a rebellion." Raella tried to make Viserys reason, but he was long lost. Dany knew it since the day he slapped her. "Your Grace, right now we need to leave. Bravos is not a safe city, not anymore." The Lord Commander spoke with a severe tone. "They spend too much time arguing. If you wish to take back your throne, my king, you must know that the northern support is no more assured." Sir Oswell said, "I don't need the usurper's dog or his armies. I will buy my own army. I heard that the Golden Company is in the disputed lands taking care of some raiders." Viserys said. Dany noted how her brother's face changed, his lilac eyes almost jumping out of their sockets. A mad dog with a crown, Dany thought. After 3 days they left Bravos behind. Now, Dany and her family were pursuing the Golden Company. If they were lucky enough, the commander would recognize them and support their cause. But Essos was a dangerous place. The usurper knew about their existence. Any step they took could be their last. Her mother told her once about Lord Varys, the spider and his little birds. A man who was able to get information from anywhere. Surely, he told Robert Baratheon that they were in Bravos. He was so responsible of Sir Willem's death as the usurper and his assassins. Dany felt hate for the first time, not against the usurper, like her brother and her mother. She felt hate for the spider. She was young, but she understood that there were two kinds of men, those who fight for what they want, like Robert Baratheon, and those who give those men reasons to fight, like Lord Varys. The latest was the most dangerous kind of men. But Dany's heart felt sadness. She never knew that little nephew, he had her same age, and was the living memory of her family ruin, besides her father's mistakes. But the boy was innocent, just like her, and now he was probably dead. She saw her mother cry because of him. She didn't understand why the gods were so cruel with them. Sir Oswell and Sir Gayrold were her personal guards now. They felt more devotion for her and her mother than for Viserys. She didn't blame them. Her brother was delusional, the beggar king they called him in Bravos, and as they traveled through the free cities, the people called him by his new title. Rhaella Targaryen. The disputed lands were the place where many men died fighting for gold. 4 cities fought for the domain over those lands. In the north was the city of Myr. Tyrosh was settled to the west. The island of Lies was located to the southwest, and the mysterious city of Yermak was located in the south. Sir Gayrold rode to meet the commander of the Golden Company, the most famous mercenary company of the entire world, one of the few armies able to fight the Dothraki. They also were loyal to the House Blackfyre. A bastard house, Rhaella thought. A few hours passed when Rhaella saw Sir Gayrold come back with 2 men in golden armors. One carried a shield with a black heart painted in the center. The other one was a man with very little hair. He looked almost comical for Rhaella. "My king, I have the honor to introduce the commander of the Golden Company, Sir Miles Toyne, and Sir Harry Strickland, his second in command." The old knight said, but the mercenary cut him off, saying, "Cut that shit, old man. We're here to do business with the beggar king." The exiled knight lacked the good manners of the Westerosi nobility. "How dare you to speak like that in front of me, mercenary scum?" Viserys replied. Rhaella saw the dragon awakening, but seeing her son angry was like seeing an angry snake. He wasn't a dragon, Rhaegar was a dragon, and now he was gone, and his little boy was gone too. The memory of the grandson she never met was a burden that she should carry for the rest of her life. Suddenly the words of Miles Toyne brought her back to the conversation. "I only came to see the last of the dragons. Now I see a pity lizard and his kin. You have no army, no support, and no gold, and as I can see it, you're as mad as your father." The knight was right. Rhaella couldn't deny any of the things he said. And her son just confirmed everything when, in middle of his desperation, he made an unbelievable offer to the knights. She froze because of the madness that her own son said. "I'll give you the hand of my sister Daenerys as payment for your service. Just look at her, a fine and young woman from Valyria." He took Dany by her hand and showed her to the knights as if she were a mare. That was the moment when Rhaella finally knew that her son was truly lost. "You take us for a fucking gang of rapists?" Sir Harry Strickland asked, his gaze hardened. "She's just a girl, boy. We will give you a chance to ask for forgiveness to us and your own kin. If you insist, I will cut off your tongue." The knight's answer broke Viserys' spirit. Rhaella noticed it by the look in his eyes. Her son failed, they were hopeless, and she knew what they were for Viserys. A coin for change, mares to be sold to the highest bidder. The beggar Luckily king, for her and Dany, nobody was bold stupid enough to support him at that moment. She felt relieved as she hugged Dany. "Don't you dare to offer your sister as a mare." Viserys looked her in disbelief. He was on the edge of collapse. "I'm the blood of the dragon, Viserys, and I will make our family survive. If you're not disposed to help, you're against me." Rhaella looked towards the horizon. She felt the same determination that she felt the day she arrived to Bravos. But now she had a mad son and a young daughter. She was the last hope of House Targaryen, again.